back team that we're kind of building up a little bit here on LNG.
Yeah, the Nocturne is, in my mind, you don't want to let LNG get both, but they do have the Kiana, so...
Level 6, so that's going to be a little unfortunate, but the same thing can be said for Monkey. Monkey's sitting at level 5 so far, waiting on that Paranoia, which, of course, is very, very iconic for the Nocturne, and I think pairs really well with this team. You know, if Orianna gets a little bit too close and we get a fight here with a Kali and Nocturne, I love the combination. It's a really good 1-2 punch. Sure, you don't have a lot of the stuns that maybe you want, but it is an insane amount of damage. Drake, indeed, falling in for the Void Grubs. I've got to imagine that LNG is going to looking for it. The Paranoia are going to get locked down, trying to go for the Sivir as we get a dramatic pause right when it pops off. That's extremely unfortunate. Oh, man.
But the caster cams are still going.
We're gonna get out.
Oh, it's an in-game bug.
Oh, okay, good. Sivir's dead, though, apparently. Super nice as the second one goes, too. And it looks like we're going to try to respect our opponents, but Monkey immediately going to go into Kiana, able to get a massive ultimate, but do we have the damage to follow up? Krako, sort of left here holding the pieces, is going to get their hands on a Void Grub, but going to get taken down by the Akali instead. Bulldog able to fight it out, but going to worry about a Cassante immediately into their face. Sheer is here, but can we close the distance in time? We're trying to buy a little more time, but unfortunately, it's just not going to be enough as we go down, but that is going to be a dead cube, and what a lot of spaghetti.
For WE. Experimental hex plates done for Monkey. It isn't a Hydra.
Opportunity, trying to lock in the Orianna. Shockwave going to come in, but Monkey does not care because with the Akali, that 1-2 punch I was talking about comes in, and now we have the advantage for this Drake you were just talking about, Alk.
Hey, look, you just don't have flash on Bulldog. I think this is not a fight that you want to be taking as LNG, so they're going to have to give up this objective. Maybe LNG try to play on the back end after this. They have Rumble moving over. Cube has teleport.
Yeah, able to get at least a small W in, but I can't imagine we're going to spend too many more resources on this. LNG maybe just trying to bait out a little more than they can, and they did get the TP, just like you were talking about, as Cube comes down just to say hello, but that is also to match Sheer, because Sheer is getting a couple of plates there in response, and I do like this. Turns into a massive back and forward, and just really a waste on a lot of resources.
That was a good find, though. I mean, you got flash out from Krako. Q played that immaculately. Cancels out. Oh, this might be a solo kill.
Ooh, Shockwave as the Kali, as Garrus able to close things in, and we go for the dive, picking up another kill, and a Kali.
JDG in Stage 2 of Demacia Cup. Super exciting what this team can do now, potentially with a little bit higher ceilings with this rookie AD carry. Scaris, potential for another solo kill.
Another Shockwave, and that just looks like we just saw another replay. I'm going to be honest. That seemed almost exactly how it went the last time for sure.
No flash, no life, and might be another dragon coming on through. Monkey's not quite in the area, but Cube is so damn tanky. He has Merc Treads upgraded, tier 3 by the way, and he also has the Force of Nature. He's completely immovable here between an Alistar and a Rumble. Kars has teleport and will be able to take the first turret of the game. WE are in such a good position here. And what I want to call into question was...
But I do think that is a note to telling this story. WE just really in a good position to grab this Drake because it's already sitting about half HP. Monkey very, very happy to just go ahead and take this. And it looks like it's going to be a Mountain Soul for them overall, which I've got to imagine is just going to make Kars even scarier.
Oh yeah. We're also having some great HUD bugs here. I'm gonna ignore the fact that we have two top score lines up there.
Just don't look at it too hard.
Cup. I know, it's really tough because I'm seeing multiple dragon icons. Thankfully, the overlay at the top is just the right shade of black in terms of opacity, so you don't really see too much behind it, but just enough there. It's a bit of a taking the first play. We're seeing that Monkey is obviously dictating a lot of how this game is going from the jungle position, and he's setting up his lanes for success. Obviously, then we see Kars doing that by himself, solo killing the enemy mid twice in a row. And now you're in a position, Otacon is up and available. You have already that is super, or a lot easier to plug in. I would say it's AD carry. Support has a lot of timings where you have to move with your jungle, move with mid, but AD carry in particular...
Activated as Kiana tries to buy a little bit of time. It looks like the exhaust coming in. Karras looking for an angle, looking for that damage.
What?
We're trying to return it, but Krako goes in immediately and just gets punished for it. That's really, really devastating because SantaCon is just waiting to be taken. This should be free for WE, and I don't even think you want to respond as LNG.
Look at the buffer there from Cube. He gets it. Even Kiana's over the wall. He's already put the spell in. The input goes through, and that just turns into another kill. Croco 0-3. They're going to teleport Bulldog away to hopefully grab themselves the bot lane tier 1. But let's just take a look at how much experience this WE team's going to get. It's 12-9 in favor of WE for the Soul Pedal.
Chorus, but I think everything is absolutely worked out in their favor.
It's really tough now for LNG to find much more. Good use of vision.
Pandora in. We're trying to look for a fight once again, but I gotta imagine this should go over really quickly as Karis able to get 1 and 2 kills there, grabbing a double kill, taking down the tank, taking down the cow like they were absolutely nothing, and we can transition that into our third Drake, Alk.
Dragon's just not going to matter in this game, I can tell. Like, yes, they get the soul, but when you look at just how this game has been going, the flow of this one, it has been WE constantly making good picks. I think the vision has been super impressive. And another player that we haven't really talked about for WE is their support. Yao Yao took an entire year off of playing competitive. Last time we saw him was
some you know, more of these towers, which could provide a lot of the much-needed gold. But it's gonna be hard to do because this Baron's got to be pretty close to gone. Baronori going to get activated once again. Nocturne looking for an angle to go in, but thinking better of it. Choosing a good time, going to lock in on Croco. Croco in trouble. The exhaust coming down as unfortunately our ultimate hits absolutely nobody. Sivir trying to find the damage. We're only going to find death instead as Cube absolutely picks them off, grabs another kill. WE just not letting up the pressure whatsoever. Karis finding a nice pound of flesh to go for. Bulldog in trouble.
WE taking a free Mountain Soul, and LNG missing their opportunity to be able to find their way into this game. 29.5 minutes is basically the end of this one. 6,000 gold lead here for them, and a Mountain Soul near impossible for LNG to get over this one.
Absolutely, and I've got to admit, the damage on Varus, Croco got to run into a bit of danger as Karis is trying to look for the damage, should be able to take them down solo, but it looks like Rumble's going to be here to try to turn things around. Equalizer coming down. There's going to be 2 Zonias pop there, trying to look for some sort of angle, but unfortunately, it's just not going to happen as Karis is able to dish out the damage time and time again, and WE is knocking at mid's door, taking another tower, while every single one of their towers has barely been touched.
Here in this game, WE, they take down the mid-tier 2, they'll grab the Baron, they'll recall, and then kind of the map is their oyster to play around. They have the massive gold lead, they have the experience leads, like, everything's coming up trumps for
in
them.
The game. Maybe he gets a little CC here and there, but like, how do we follow it up? We don't have the damage on Bulldog right now, unfortunately. We're sitting at 0-4, going to start a fight over here. Karis might actually get taken down there as the Pandora going to get activated, trying to look for the distance. Karis getting close to going down. Croco going for the hunt as the equalizer comes down. We go back in, finally getting to shut down. This might be a little bit of oxygen in the lungs on the other side, but Bulldog left here holding the bag, gonna go down. Sure, we got 1 kill, but we still have the Baron, and we're knocking at another T2.
We got the shutdown, but at what cost here? Get another turret here for WE. They get 2 kills in trade, and they still have Baron for another minute and a half. Mountain Soul makes this an immountable kind of damage that they have to be able to deal. See how much they have to invest just to get a single one down onto WE. Inhibitor is going to be cracked here. No mid-wave to play for, but maybe they just end the game.
I think they have all the tools to do that. Alistair is up, but what is he going to be able to do here into all of these insane odds? Nocturne trying to lock down Rumble. Unfortunately, not able to find the angle, but we've got these cannon minions just sort of here chipping away at the base. 1 tower is going to go down. Going to transition over into the T3, and just LNG doesn't have a lot they can do. There's just not a lot they can respond with. Croco looking desperately for some sort of angle to go in and lock this team down, but it's going to be a big ask. Even if we get in there, we might just get taken down. And the turn goes in, and there it is, that turn exactly that I was talking about as the Pandora gets activated, as we just try to lock him down. Buy a little more time there with an ultimate as we fight underneath the tower. Alistair able to buy a little bit of time, but unfortunately it's just not going to be enough as Croco ultimately goes down on the other end. Equalizer there on Monkey. Monkey almost going to get taken down. Does indeed go down on the other end, but we're losing more and more members for LNG. This might be an angle to go for as the Zonia gets activated, but Karis still here able to do. There's going to be the shockwave. Lots of back and forward. Cube absolutely able to dish out the damage. Varus doing the exact same thing, and more members for LNG just continue to fall.
The flash used by both of our AD carries, 1xN, will survive. It'll be more gold being picked up by LNG, but it's another turret being... Does a Hex Flash over the wall? Thankfully doesn't get punished by the rest of WE immediately trying to pounce on him. Monkey turns off the light cube in the back line.
Kurako gonna get isolated as we start a fight
Oh
over here. There's an
my.
absolute cuddle puddle here for this one as we try to lock down and deal a good chunk of damage. Karis able to absolutely rock member after member. There's only 2 left here for the defense, and we're trying to go for the whole enchilada. Grabbing another one, and that is gonna be a full ace for the other side. Double kill for Karis, and it doesn't matter because game number 1 is gonna be over. WE taking this first point, taking the Nexus.
Wow, that was a massive flank yet again.